All right, so here we are back on the desktop, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my black and white photography. So when we went over there to Austin, I pretty much decided to only bring my KIEV 60, which is my medium format 6x6, and I kind of regret it. Some of the photos I got were cool, but I also brought along a little 35 millimeter point and shoot, my Pentax, and I kind of wish I stuck with just shooting 35 millimeter instead of shooting 120, because it was really tough carrying around the KIEV, going around and walking around. It was super hot. I guess the photos that I got back, I feel like it wasn't worth the effort that I had put in. So I feel like next time I'm just gonna bring just one of my 35 millimeters, most likely my Leica, and just call it a day. Yeah, we'll still go through them and check them out. So this one is one of the first ones we got right here. So pretty straightforward, you know, nothing special. Just like I wanted to test out I really wanted to test out if the lens was getting everything to focus. I'm at 2.8 for this one. It's more of like just seeing where the 2.8 falls off as far as, you know, the aperture goes, and just seeing how sharp the lens is. It's pretty cool. Nothing, like I said, nothing like portfolio wise or anything like that. It's just kind of just a normal image, and that's how a lot of them go, and that's how a lot of these are. Like this one, for example, just like a normal photo. This one of me, pretty much just pretty standard, straightforward. As for a portrait of myself or my friend, and we got it 2.8. Looks good. You know, it's what I was expecting. This one I think is pretty dope. Again, it's I go back to wishing that I was shooting color here, and I was having a super huge debate with myself of should I shoot black and white or should I shoot color. But because the lighting was so bright and it was so harsh, I was like, let me just go ahead and shoot black and white. I believe this is Cinestill BWXX black and white in 120. So yeah, the sharpness is there for sure in the film. This is one of the, I feel like, the best black and white photo that I had got from this day. My friend made a really good point. For black and white photography specifically, I feel like the brutalist architecture really fits it well, and trying to get more like that street life and like stuff like that, I should definitely use color for that. So I'm kind of just having like a whole shift of wanting to shoot pretty much only color at this point, because the brutalist architecture is not something that I'm just into at the moment. So this one's pretty dope. This is a shot that I wish was on color, because I think it would have been awesome to see the blue sky refracting through these little light holes through this architecture. I think it would have been pretty interesting to see, but you know, shooting black and white. So we'll move on to the color 120, because I did shoot color on the KIEV. I actually remember now seeing these. And we were out here in, I believe, downtown Austin, in one of the Museum of Arts. I forgot. I believe it was the Historical Museum, not the Museum of Arts. Pulled off one of these shots. This shot ended up a lot wider than what I had thought it was going to be, even though I can see everything that's going on in the camera. But this is one of the last ones I wanted to talk about. It's actually the first photo that I had took on the KIEV. As you can see, the film roll actually started. It's pretty cool. I think this gives a cool little vibe going off, and yeah, possibly a portfolio shot. So we'll see. All right, so moving on to the 35 millimeter color that I had shot. This is the shots that I've honestly liked the most. It's pretty crazy. I have a 120 camera, and I'm shooting my 35 millimeter little Pentax point and shoot, and I enjoy these photos more than I do my 120 shots. So without further ado, just jump right into them. First shot, something to say before I guess I continue. I went ahead and scanned all of these 35 millimeter shots in my new scanner that I got. I ended up getting a Nikon Coolscan 4000. I'm debating on making a video about it, because I think it's pretty interesting, and I think it's worthwhile for me to actually speak about it, and I'll speak about it more in a little bit. But the one thing I noticed, I don't know if it's because of the laptop that I'm using, because I'm sure if you're versed in Nikon Coolscan scanners, the 4000 series is a FireWire only, so I have to actually connect it to a computer that's compatible with FireWire or has a FireWire port. So I don't know if because it's such an older laptop, I have an older Dell laptop that I'm using, and the color profile looks a little bit different on the screen, but the photos, when I transfer them over here to my home desktop, look way more saturated than I feel like they should be. but honestly it's kind of like giving like a vibe, I guess, kind of building like a look, and I actually really enjoy it. Like for this shot and this shot right here too, I think the real high contrast between the brown dirt and this brown sidewalk and then the blue sky with a white subject in the middle is pretty interesting. And this was shot on Fuji 200, which, if my memory serves me right, Fuji 200 is supposed to be like Kodak Gold, I believe. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure on that, because I know, you know, Fuji 400 is supposed to be Ultramax 400, and I don't, vice versa, I forgot. But basically it's a Fuji 200 speed film, so I knew it was going to be a little bit more saturated than what the 400 speed would be. You know, it's a little less flexible, so it's going to give you more of a certain look. And yeah, like this one, this came out super duper orange through the tint, but it's just like I'm leaving it as is because I just kind of like enjoy the way they look. Same thing with this one, kind of giving me that oversaturated look. And to give you guys a good example is this photo right here, which I actually really do enjoy. I love this photo a lot, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a secondary example of actually me editing the photo and kind of bringing it down a little bit to make it look just a little more natural, because this is the, here, let me try to frame this up for a second. So this right here on the left is the just straight out the Nikon Coolscan, just a flat balanced profile. I believe I'm on just neutral profile, and it's still coming out pretty oversaturated. And then right here is me using the dark table to kind of bring down some of the colors, make it look a little bit more natural to the eye. And yeah, I enjoy both of them. Personally, I would go back to this one and tweak it just a little bit up. Right, I feel like there's a sweet spot that I'm missing in between this and this that I feel like I should get to, so I'm still working that out. But yeah, a pretty cool photo nonetheless. I really do enjoy both of them. Same thing goes for this one of our little dog Athena. There is this one and there is this one. Here's the comparison between it. So this is straight out the Nikon Coolscan, and then this is the edited version. For this one specifically, I really do enjoy the edited version. I feel like it's more in line to what a properly exposed photo should be. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the 35mm color, and there's only a few more photos to talk about, which I think will be pretty interesting. After I got back from Austin the same day, or the day afterwards, I shot a black and white roll because it was actually my birthday. Happy belated. Thank you so much. This was August 30th, so a couple days ago from now. And yeah, I shot black and white film, and I feel like it's pretty interesting to talk about because there's kind of like some things going on with it, so I'll just get right into it. So with the black and white film that I had shot, I am not 100% sure if this specifically is partially because of my camera or the development process. I don't want to say that the development process was incorrect or was done incorrectly, but for some context, this is my first time shooting with a film stock called Arista 400. It's a black and white film stock. I believe it's just like a European black and white film stock, a pretty inexpensive film stock. But if you could see very closely on a lot of my photos, it almost looks like there's sort of like scratching, basically, like cuts, and like not necessarily cuts but grooves, but it looks like almost as if my film door, it's happened before a long time ago, my film door, when you close it, the pressure plate has too much pressure pushing against the film, so when you wind, it's actually going to be scraping the film every time you go. I don't know if that's this exactly because I can't really tell, because it could also be development marks, basically just black, and because like this right here you can kind of see is like development marks where the chemicals were sitting for, I guess, an X amount of period of time. It looks like the film is just breaking up a little bit. So, you know, I don't ever go and point fingers to anybody. You know, it's just, for at the end of the day, it's just basically photos. These aren't photos that are gonna like change my life anytime soon, hopefully, so I'm not really upset about it. Obviously there's dust and specks and a little bit of stuff going on, and I tried to clean this as literally as best as I possibly could, but everything on the actual physical film of the 35mm was sticking onto it like glue. I literally could not clean it off. I have a soft microfiber towel. I know they do sell 35 millimeter like spray basically to like reset it and kind of clean it off. I just didn't go for it. But actually another reason why I'm kind of leaning towards shooting more color film than I am black and white film, not just because of this, but with my 35 millimeter scans that I did on the Nikon Coolscan, I feel like they look so good because of infrared cleaning. So the Nikon Coolscan series has infrared cleaning, basically able to get rid of all the marks and blemishes and stuff like that. Basically like a dust removal, basically like ice dust removal and stuff like that. While you can't do that with black and white film on the Nikon Coolscan because it's infrared cleaning and there is no infrared or color red, i.e. red, inside of black and white film. It's monochrome. So basically the scanner can't help you remove these insignificant pieces right here. So what I would have to do in this situation is just go into Photoshop and just pretty much try to heal the best I can. But when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, I can't really tell you what's going on here. I've had bad film stocks that have gotten developed. You know, it's just a thing that happens when you're doing this kind of stuff, you know. But regardless, I still enjoy the photo so much. I know here for sure this is definitely a development piece right here, because that is not a hair or anything like that. But, you know, it's just, like I said, it's things that happen. Still, regardless of everything that I've talked about, this photo specifically right here of my nephew is unironically one of my favorite photos that I have taken in a very long time, and it's definitely going in the portfolio. I think what I'll do is I'll try to take it into, like I said, Photoshop, try to clean it up just a little bit. I'm sure it's going to be basically impossible to pretty much completely fix. It's not going to be something I can rescan. What's very unfortunate is if I was scanning on my flatbed scanner, my Epson, I could probably take this into Silverfast and rescan it and use the cleaning, or I forgot what it's called, SDRX cleaning. I forgot what it's called on there. But the whole reason why I swapped over to the Nikon Coolscan 4000 was because my flatbed scanner broke. And I decided to actually, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get a dedicated 35 millimeter film scanner rather than a flatbed scanner. So regardless, like I said, I still enjoy these photos. I'll probably try to take them into Photoshop and see if I can fix a few of them. I just didn't get around to doing them because I just wanted to show y'all I guess the truth of what these look like. You know, things happen in photography, and I wanted to show y'all guys the real deal. This is just what happens, and this is how a lot of it looks like, unedited, raw, just straight up, just how you get it right back from the film, and then you scan, and this is how a lot of them come out without that post-production editing and stuff like that. So if any of you guys have a solution or like something that I can possibly do besides maybe Photoshop, please leave a comment below or let me know like what's going on, pretty much, because I'm still kind of at a loss for fully what could have been the actual problem that had initially caused it, you know. So yeah, so with that being said, that's all the photos that I have to show you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Obviously not some of my best work, because, you know, usually you'll never know when you make your best work. It'll just kind of happen. So if you liked the video, if you enjoyed it, if you like to see, you know, some other things like this, like reviews or whatever, it's a different approach to my content creation, and I actually had a lot of fun making this video because it's just me kind of hanging out doing what I do just with the camera on. So yeah, like I said, if you liked the video, please subscribe, leave any comments. I appreciate you guys watching to the end. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.